This may be the most difficult non-exclusive LEGO set to acquire in the great year of 2021. Out of the botanical collection for LEGO, the 18-plus Bonsai Tree has proven to be a very rare piece, given set number 10281 with 878 pieces, and in the US it costs $50. Why is this set so rare? Well, it's probably a combination of underproduction and immense popularity that LEGO just didn't expect for the Bonsai Tree. And it's probably for good reason that it's popular. It looks absolutely gorgeous, especially on the box art. I mean, the box just really sells you this one. It's a hard one not to want to buy just out of this innate desire to have something that looks really cool on your shelf, and I think this one's going to fit in really well on my shelf. Or maybe that was the wrong way to put it. It's going to stand out. But the Bonsai Tree has been incredibly hard to find for me. I have been looking for it, and I say looking for it, I'm a big LEGO fan. Obviously. I go to the store all the time to buy LEGO, or at the very least, every time I'm at the store, I look at the LEGO aisle, and I have yet to see this one on shelves until the other day. We're in the middle of May. I finally found it at a Target for full retail price. And this one has been available since January 1st, 2021. So you can see my point as to how rare it is. Got some nice side box art. It is kind of an eco LEGO set, so it's got the plants made from plants. Essentially, that means the foliage in this LEGO set is supposed to be made from plants and not the same as the plastic for the rest of the LEGO pieces. So kind of interesting there. You have a second set of foliage for this set as well. So you have the green foliage, but then you have this really nice pink and white foliage that's a really different look for your bonsai tree. We'll definitely get into that. And then you have some other features of the bonsai tree pictured below, as well as the dimensions, so you can figure out if you're able to fit it within your certain display place. While I don't expect unboxing the bonsai tree to be significantly different than any other LEGO set, I do think it is interesting to see how the parts are packaged in this particular one. Bag 4, it looks like, has a lot of our foliage, but I thought these are cool. Like, so you have these bags that are just completely full of essentially the same part. Usually don't see that in most regular LEGO sets. Looks like we have a couple pieces that aren't going to be placed in bags. And there's the fun one. This is the one I was really looking for. You literally get a bag of pink frogs in this LEGO set. There are no other LEGO sets where you get a bag of pink frogs, so that's a pretty good reason to buy this, I suppose. It looks like the instruction manual comes in its own bag. So inside the instructions, you're going to have a little bit of information on the art of the bonsai, and there's the designer of the bonsai tree, Nicholas Voss, and then you have a little bit more in here, a couple different angles of the bonsai tree, and then of course it's going to transition into just regular old LEGO building instructions. At the very back, there's actually 10 alternate builds for inspiration. Now, you're going to have to get your own parts and do a bunch of things if you want to build anything like this, but it is something really cool that they really don't do with a lot of sets nowadays. So just seeing these, I think, is worth having here in the video. You can see there's tons of different models and versions of things you can do, and then the notable one from the Bionicle community is that one there, because it's made with Bionicle Masks. And I've yet to open this bag, but I wanted to show it without having opened it. You actually have bag 5 here, which has those pink frogs. It's got all the white leaves and everything, and it is what allows you to essentially turn it from that into this monstrosity. Maybe monstrosity is the wrong word. It's quite beautiful. I mean, they could sell these things like DLC if they wanted to in their own individual bags for like $10 for your bonsai trees. With 101 frogs, it's the most frogs in a single LEGO set ever, so I doubt that number will ever be surpassed. So the first thing I'll talk about with this set is the bottom part here. We have the stand, which is made of wood, or at least supposed to be made of wood. It's obviously not real wood, it's LEGO, but it's supposed to look like wood, and it's got this very nice slatted design. And then you have the pot, which is, I don't know what material it's supposed to be, but it's in this nice black color that contrasts the brown of both the tree and the stand. Now, as far as the actual bonsai tree goes, the design of it is actually really fun as far as the build goes. And when it's finished, it does look really great and like a bonsai tree. The plants on top are green in this instance, although you can change it to the pink cherry blossoms, which we'll do a little bit later on. You can also change the orientation of a lot of this stuff very easily by just turning things. Like all these branches are just attached in ways that make it very easy to turn them and give them different little angles on things. So you can change things up as you see fit. I just kind of built it like the instructions had it. That's what I do with most of my LEGO sets. But for those of you that like to change things around, this one is certainly able to do so. Now, I'm not a bonsai tree expert, but whatever these brown things are, if they're vines or something to that effect, look really great wrapping around the tree. It adds a great bit of depth that wouldn't be there otherwise. And those are actually the two parts in the set that don't come in one of the bags. nice. The back of the tree has a bit of a darker brown color, which adds a nice bit of variance to it. And then you can see inside the pot, you have these little rocks, which they all come in one bag and you mix them up and pour them in. It's actually very fun to partake in, so it's just part of that building experience. This one's very unique in that way. You usually don't get to do that sort of thing, but there's just a nice mix of colors with dark green. You get a bit of a salmon-ish color and a very muted orangish color. So there's definitely some fun colors in there that really contrast well with the rest of the set, but are very like muted and neutral in the way that they just kind of exist there without really popping out. The stand and the pot are actually independent. They're not connected at all. At the bottom of the pot, there are actually some black tires, which are rubber. Actually under there, really cool, is some teal. So they did work some teal into the set. There's actually more teal inside of the tree. I guess the designer of this set in particular just likes teal. So you can have that stand on its own if you would like. And then the stand itself is a very simple brick built with tiles on top type of design. Nothing crazy, but it does actually fit in perfectly well with this. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. It's a fun design and a very easy build at that. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys want to know what it looks like with the pink cherry blossoms on top, so let's swap it out. This is the cherry blossom look, and it is quite an exquisite look. It's completely different, obviously, from the regular foliage, and I think that's a great thing to have both in one, especially at a low price of $50, or at least relatively low in the scale of the Lego. You can also tell pink would normally stand out from most people's Lego collection. I would say most people watching this video would have something akin to this. Maybe you've got some city buildings, but you're probably not a big Lego Friends fan, so you probably don't have a lot of pink in your collection, and this is going to really pop out on that. Now, there's also the alternate collector. Maybe you're someone that just buys a few sets a year. Maybe you only display one set at a time on your desk or something at work, or whatever the case may be, or in your dorm room, and this is a great set for that. And I think it's part of the reason it's selling super well here early on in its lifespan. It's just a really nice, easygoing display piece. It doesn't scream Lego or huge Lego nerd, which there's nothing wrong with that, but this is just a really subtle piece that looks elegant and it works for that. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are worried it would be incredibly difficult to interchange the tree branches, but it's not. Literally all you have to do is pull off the entire sections at the same time, and then you just replace them with one of the Lego sections. It's very easy to do. You're not going to have any real problems with it. The only word of advice, or what I would say really with this, is be a little bit careful, as it can easily fall off the stand if you're not, like if you just wiggle it the wrong way. I did have it fall off the stand once, and when it does, all of these little studs on the inside have a pretty good chance of flying on out, and you definitely don't want that. At $50, this set is well worth the money. I dare say it's a steal. With 878 pieces, well, price per piece doesn't matter. That's certainly going to play into how much you may think this set is worth the money, and I think that's really irrelevant here, given how many small, similar sized, exact same pieces there are. I mean, there's literally 100 frogs, and economies of scale says this is a lot cheaper for Lego to produce than maybe some of the singular pieces included in this set that they use for the branch, maybe 3 at a time. But regardless of what it costs Lego to make this, I still think it's worth the $50. Absolutely is. It looks stunning on display. It's going to be a great piece that people see, and if you put the pink leaves on, it's really going to pop out. If you put the green leaves on, though, I really think it can just meld right into whatever display you're working with, and people may even think it's a real bonsai tree from afar. It'll just really fit right into your house or your apartment or whatever the case is. Let me know what you guys think about the Lego Bonsai Tree in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be greatly appreciated, and you can check out more Lego content on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching my review of the Lego Bonsai Tree.